Hey, this is Bob Snyder, welcoming you back to another episode of Generally Speaking. Today I want to talk about hosting an intensive. What is an intensive? Well, it's a real estate investing workshop, an all-day event, as a matter of fact, whereby a Renatus instructor comes to your town to teach their class to your people and your prospects. That's right. And I love it because it's almost like a sampling of sorts. People can sample the Renatus education live and in person. They can interact with the instructor. They can also get to know other people in the community, and it helps to raise the belief and conviction level that they have about this company and what we can do for them. Now, how do you become a host of an intensive? Well, the first thing is, you've got to pretty much put your hand in the air and declare that you want to be a host. The next thing is that we monitor the attendance in your area at live presentations. Online presentations and webinars and conference calls, they don't count. We're only looking at live attendance in your local market, because we want to make darn good and sure that if an intensive instructor comes out to speak, that there are more than 5 people sitting in the audience, right? So we're going to take a look and see that you are consistently above 50 people in attendance at your weekly presentation. That is like a Thursday night presentation. That doesn't mean that you got 3 or 4 or 5 presentations going on in a week and collectively the numbers are 50. That means that one single presentation each week has that number, and you're hitting it consistently. But once we've proven that your market is now matured and ready for an intensive, now you need to coordinate with Christian George, who is our content developer inside the corporate office. And Christian could work with you to try to schedule one of our Renatus instructors to come out and teach for the day. The obligation for a market to host an intensive is that, well, you've got to pay for the instructor's travel, their airfare, their hotel, their meals. If they rent a car, great, you're covering that. If they don't, you're just picking them up at the airport and transporting them around, fantastic. Whatever you work out with the instructor there, but you're responsible for the costs associated with that. How do you monetize that? Well, an intensive is a pretty powerful event, so the easiest way to do it, and there are a variety, talk to one of your PAC members, they'll give you some ideas. But the easiest way is that you charge all of the independent marketing affiliates in your market a fee to attend and then to bring guests. If your market's strong, just by charging the affiliates maybe a $50 or $75 fee, and then they can bring all the guests that they want, is sufficient to cover the costs of the event. It may be that you decide to do a lower fee, but you charge everyone, including the guests who come. The only challenge with that is that will lower the number of prospects who attend, and trust me, I would just rather get everybody in the room so that we have a greater ability to influence them. Hey, the next thing is that you want to make darn good and sure that you've got a proper venue that will support attendance and take care of everybody, that your audio and video needs are taken care of. You got to have a projector, you got to have a screen, you got to have speakers, you got to have a mixing board. You need to have lavalier microphones as well as handheld microphones so that you can better facilitate the event and make everything work for you. You need to have people in place that will help and assist you in setting up, tearing down, managing the check-in process for the guests who are coming to attend, as well as everybody else. Make it a team effort. And then you need to make sure that you present the introduction to the presenter, to your instructor, in such a way that edifies them properly and gives the audience a reason or an incentive to listen and to learn from them. That's a big part of it. Edification's everything when it comes to a solid introduction. During the intensive event, I can tell you that one of the other things that is very helpful is that you plan to somehow introduce the Renatus educational system to those who are in attendance. Now, the best way to do that is to have someone designated either in the morning before the instructor is introduced, or in the afternoon after the instructor is taught all day, to give an abbreviated version of the Renatus Epic presentation. That way, the guests in the room, maybe it's their first exposure know what is involved in getting involved with our company, and you make it into not only an educational event, an opportunity for our guests to see what we're all about and to experience our product, but also for them to get involved with us and to enroll as students. Think about how that works. Again, you can talk to your PAC members about that, but the first thing starts with putting your hand in the air, saying we want an intensive in our market, having the proper number of people on a weekly basis to justify that, and then figuring out a way for you to monetize that so that you don't have to take anything out of pocket, but the team collectively helps to gather the revenue necessary to host the event. Once you've got all those things in place, get a hold of Christian George at the corporate office and say, we're ready, we meet the qualifications, and we have a date in mind. Can you help us get an instructor? And then you're on the map, and that helps to accelerate the growth of your business and your community exponentially. Get her done, man. Put your hand in the air. We look forward to hosting an intensive in your city.